Spoštovane gospe in gospodje, dragi ljubitelji odbojke, dobrodošli v razprodani hali Tivoli. Naša tema poteka pod sloganom ACH Slovenija. Kad je danes naš čaka prav posebno večer, da se više zgodovina. Odbojkovi ACH Volley LJUBLJANA so naše korak popravljeni od velikega evropskega finala. Na prvoj tekmi v Italiji je slavila ekipa Piacenze, zato naši izvani danes potrebujejo zmago. Za neposredno uvrstitev v finale potrebuje ACH Volley zmago z rezultatom 3:0 ali 3:1, v primeru zmage s 3:2. Po obdobju v finale odločil še zlati niz. Pred nami je torej večer velikih odločitev. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Volley fans, welcome to Sultan Tivoli Hall. This game is presented by ACH Slovenia. Tonight is a special moment tonight where history can be made. ACH Volley LJUBLJANA is just one step away from the CEV Cup finals. And for the first match in Italy, Piacenza has taken advantage, so the whole team needs a strong performance tonight. So močno znamo, potrebujemo danes za to se bomo tudi primerno ogreli. Da bodo ogrete noge, roke in predvsem sami pa bomo sedaj poskrbel naš MC, David Zaskovali, izvoli. Ojej, živo Tivoli Kosmo! Aha, ja, dobro večer. Evo, ker ste me zelo zbrali, danes smo zritelje super nagrade, tako da lahko vzamete telefone ven, skenirate koliko je tam gor, ali pa tam gor in napovedite rezultat tekme. Zavanica Triglav, ali je super nagrada za vas, tako da z vas sreče boste ravno vi tisti, ko boste dobili to nagrado, tako da kar vidite telefončke, skenirajte koliko da Zavanica Triglav pripravlja super nagrado, kje so telefoni? Inek ste skozi na telefoni, zdaj pa ne. Ajde, napovedite rezultat, seveda zmaga ACH-ja in potem z malo sreče boste lahko osvojili super nagrado Zavanice Triglav. Naredite še selfie, objavite ga na Instagramu, TikToku, tega ACH Volley in nekdo izmed vas bo dobil tudi dres ACH Volley. Zdaj pa mene zanima, da vas je še toliko zbrani, iz kje ste prišli. Pa malo zaplavskite, da se malo spoznamo, malo držite z Primorske. Dobro, a bomo držili Borinca? Nekaj jih je. A bomo držili z Dolenske? Tudi pomar, ko smo se ne porazili. A to je Štajerske? Živje Štajerci. Dobrodošli v Ljubljani. A to z Kruške? A to z Ljubljane?
A very warm welcome to the Tivoli Arena in Ljubljana, Slovenia for the second CEV Cup semi-final leg between home side ACH Volley LJUBLJANA and the Italian visitors Gas Sales Bluenergy PIACENZA. Thanks for joining us here on Eurovolley TV for this one. And that's how it looks in the other semi-final. Lüneburg beating Grignard Masek by 3-1. So it'll be the winner of that game that meets the winner of this one in the final. Well, Piacenza, after a fantastic showdown in game one, managed to run out 3-2 winners, which means they arrive in Slovenia knowing that a win of any kind will take them through to the CEV Cup final. And after a magnificent Scudetto quarter-final victory over Modena at the weekend, Piacenza are in good spirits and very positive ahead of tonight's match. For the home side, Ljubljana, undefeated domestically and into the Slovenian Championship semi-finals. They've proved themselves to be a really superb squad, underlined by their quarter-final victory over Fenerbahce, 3-0 and 3-1. And a win would take Ljubljana to the final, while a 3-2 victory would give them a golden set tiebreaker. So we could be in for an hour-and-a-half match, or we could be in for closer to 3.5 hours, depending on how Robert Landi Simon and his Piacenza team play in this one. So it's not just a case of winning a couple of sets for Piacenza, it's a case of winning the match, getting those 3 sets. And that means they'll be looking to go big with their lineup, I'm sure. And as brilliantly as Ljubljana played away from home in game one, it's important to note that Piacenza played a mix and match lineup because they had one eye on their Scudetto quarter-final decider with Modena. And with that match now secured, coach Dante Boninfanti can return to his strongest lineup, which should include Paolo Porro at setter, young superstar Alessandro Bovalenta opposite, and the high-powered wing-spiking duo of F.A. Mandiracci and Jose Miguel Gutierrez, with the experience of captain Robert Landis-Simon and possibly Gianluca Galassi in the middle. Piacenza arrived on Tuesday, put in a big weight session followed by a technical session in the hall, so they are ready to go. And on the other side of the net, the team in orange, led by Ljubljana coach Igor Kolikovic. Well, he's lured some of the veteran cream of a world-class Slovenian squad. The man in your picture, one of those players, Tino Anal. He's got the setter, 37-year-old Gregor Ropre. He's got 39-year-old middle Alan Payenk, and he's got the man who's just hit that serve, 37-year-old winger Tino Anal. All joined by top-scoring opposite, 30-year-old Tonček Stern. And that completes a really exciting squad featuring some very talented young players. So this tie, I think, is still very much open, and as far as Ljubljana are concerned, playing here at home in the Tivoli Arena means that they can bring that extra bit of advantage with the crowd behind them to see if they can get a result. And if they win it, 3-0 or 3-1, that is good enough to go through. There's Stern in the #1 shirt, top scorer, went big on the points in game one, and they're going to need him to go big today. Similarly, Piacenza's game plan will be how do they stop the right side of Ljubljana. And if Gutierrez and Mandiracci start, then they will be responsible for trying to get those blocks on. There's a very talented young player, 23-year-old Alessandro Bovalenta, just 21 years of age, and he has been simply superb. Son of the fantastic Vigor Bovalenta, who sadly is no longer with us. But Alessandro certainly carrying things on to the top level, and it looks like Italy have another very talented right side player that Piacenza are certainly benefiting from. And talking of talented young Italians, there's another one right there. Setter Paolo Porro, 24 years of age now. Signed from Milano in the off-season. He is such a great playmaker. Very exciting to watch, dynamic, always tries something a little different, but he also brings some big serving to the party. And that'll be important today, the serving of Piacenza, to try and keep Ljubljana's attack down to a minimum. Number 13, likely to be the starting libero for Ljubljana. Jani Kovacic, another experienced Slovenian player, 33 years of age now. And there's the oldest man out there, 39-year-old Alan Pajenk. And there's a nearly equally aged middleman on the other side of the net, Captain Robert Landis-Simon for Piacenza. Very experienced coach in Igor Kolikovic, 60-year-old Montenegrin, former international setter in his own right. There's a good group of bench coaches behind him. And there's another fabulous setter on the other side of the net, Dante Boninfanti, Italian legend, now coming into coaching in a big way in the Credenbanca Superliga in Italy. So, as is always the case with these matches, it'll be the away side that comes out to the floor first. We're looking for a return to the floor for some of the big starters, which has not been the case for Piacenza in the earlier rounds. They've been trying to spread the workload. There's the Ljubljana lineup, plenty of fantastic veterans in there, but some really talented youngsters as well that we'll see in action today. And for Piacenza, well, they welcome Gianluca Galassi back to the lineup. He's been missing with injury for a little while. Daniel Iegbaquero, the talented teenage French middle, isn't available to start, so he's got a libero jersey on so he can be on the bench. I don't think we'll see him feature in any passing lineup. So the home fans here in the Tivoli Arena getting right on side with Volley Ljubljana. This is a massive game for them. They've played brilliantly so far in this tournament. They played really well in the Champions League, just missed out as a third-place team in Pool A, but came through the quarterfinals very well. And on On the other side of the net in the red and white, Gas Sales Bluenergy PIACENZA. Quarter-final victory over Berlin Recycling Volleys in 4 sets apiece to put themselves into this semi-final showdown, and coming away with a 5-set victory in game 1 just. So that leaves Ljubljana with the door open to certainly try and find a result here tonight in front of the home crowd. So there's the 2 squads. We'll meet the officials momentarily. Bjorn Willems, quietly spoken, very likeable character, referee of the year. Doesn't like to talk about it though, bless him. And Josip Ristov of Macedonia will be his 2nd official. So 2 very experienced referees in charge of this one. So referees in place. Let's see now if Dante Bonifanti is going to return to what most pundits consider to be his strongest lineup. It's all down to injury a lot of the time at the back end of the season, but a welcome return for a couple of big-name players. And alongside Bonifanti, one of the best wing spikers to ever play the game, Samuele Papi for the Azzurri. So it is a start at playmaker for Paolo Porro. No surprises there. The brilliant Efe Mandiracci of Turkey will start left side. It's going to be Francesco Comparoni through the middle. That's probably instead of Gianluca Galassi. We'll see if he features later. The captain is on. Robert Landy Simon is going to be through the middle. The brilliant and explosive Jose Miguel Gutierrez. If he passes well today and if he gets his angles right, then he's a very difficult player to stop. And in the opposite slot, providing that flow of points, Alessandro Bovalenta with Domenico Paci. Oh no, it's not, it's Luca Loretti in the huddle there, ahead of Paci. So maybe he will be the starting libero and feature more heavily. Either way, it's a very solid lineup for Piacenza. And in the absence of Galassi and also Iegbakedo, it's a start for Comparoni down the middle. Other side of the net then. Big welcome from the fans for their top scorer, Tonček Stern. He is a beast on that right side, and he needs to be exactly that tonight to try and tear a result. Luka Maroft is going to go through the wing. Janez Krizek is the other middle player. The brilliant Gregor Ropre is in the playmaking role. Tineona, another one of those players that is the glue that holds it all together. He'll be the other left-sider with Maroft. And it looks like Alan Pajenk is going to be down the middle. The 39-year-old Slovenian middle. Nice squad from Ljubljana. Got a great balanced feel to it. Confirmation of the lineups then. Porro sets, Bovalenta opposite. Gutierrez, Mandiracci out on that left side with Comparoni and Simon down the middle for Piacenza. And it's Ropre and Stern. And then Luka Marov, Tineona out on the left side. Their pass has to be really good in the game. And Pajenk and Krizik has to be good down the middle. They've got to get some stopping power employed in this match. But Piacenza with some very, very big servers for the coach, Dante Bonifanti. If they can put that ball in on a consistent basis, which is never easy away from home in a new hall, but if they can get that ball in and get it in heavy, then Ljubljana are going to have to work very hard. There's the opposition coach, Igor Kolikovic, home side Ljubljana head coach. Away we go then with set number 1 on an evening where all the cards are still on the table. We could be in for a quick game. We could be in for an absolute volleyball marathon. Gas Sales Bluenergy PIACENZA in the red and white. Took game 1 by 3-2 at home in the Palabanca Sport. But they're going to have their work cut out against a high-flying and very experienced ACH Volley Ljubljana team in the orange. The Slovenian side here at home in the Tivoli arena. Going to try and make this as tricky as possible. And by all the results and all the cards on the table, it's exactly that. Piacenza have to win 3 sets. Any victory puts them through to the CEV Cup final. For Ljubljana, a 3-0 or a 3-1 victory puts them into the final. A 3-2 victory means we then go on to play a golden set, so we could be on for 6 sets of volleyball tonight. However, if Piacenza's serve is good, and Comperoni, not known for his aces, manages to put one off the hands of young Luka Maroft. But if the serving from Piacenza is good, it's going to be tough for the home side. Little tickle over the net, well defended by both Porro and Gutierrez. And Bovalenta gets the ball shoved down on the joust, loses out to Maroft. Crowd chanting Tonček Stern's name. Big opening serve. Well covered by Loretti, who steps in to cover for Pache today in that libero role in the blue shirt. It's in the air still, it's in play, and Gutierrez unloads on another one. Might have been going out. Piacenza play it and defend with everything on the line. And Maroft, I don't think, has got the fingertips. He's not so sure, and neither is his coach. And that's unfortunate, because that was stunning defence from Ljubljana in that rally. Here he is. Now was playing in Japan for a couple of seasons, but now very much back with his home team. And the overpass dispatched, but dispatched with a fault. Gutierrez here, touching the net, for goodness sake. Good start though from the Cuban, couple of really nice hits from him, but it's his pass that will be pressured. Maroft to serve next. Go after Gutierrez, good ball. Not a fantastic set from Porro. And there we go, that is perfectly highlighted there, the pace at which the left side runs now in the modern game. Pass the ball onto the front foot and drive in at the net, hoping your setter puts it in the window. Quick apology from Porro to Gutierrez, and then he gets beaten by the ace. How quickly a game can turn. Ljubljana putting a 5-3 lead onto that scoreboard, and Captain Tiniona will be delighted. Not off to serve again. Gutierrez heavy into the angle, well defended. And that's the job of Stern, to put everything away that is out of system. That's the right side player's USP. Stern has absolutely crunched this. What a swing. 6-3, Ljubljana have some momentum. Once again, pressure on the Ljubljana serve reception. Gutierrez hits a big serve. Takes the pace off that one though. Earnout passes easily. Good read that. Very good read from Robert Landy Simon. He was celebrating straight away. And both Porro and Bovalenta think this is in. So we go to a challenge. And Mission Impossible music. There's nothing impossible about the mission for either team tonight. That's for sure. This is completely winnable for both squads. So ball in or out is our first challenge request, and it's Dante Boninfanti asking the question for Piacenza. And there we go. Ball hit hard enough to compress onto the line, so challenge and point 1. Piacenza get one of those breaks back. Gutierrez to serve again. Went after the front court four-player, Bernard, on that last serve, but it was easily passed. Goes with power this time. And that's how much power. There's a lot of tension in the cable that runs through the tape on the net. But it generally doesn't bounce that far unless you've absolutely laced it. It's a massive, massive swing from Gutierrez. Ljubljana's point though. Krzic into the front line. Pajenk with the serve. And there's that test for Gutierrez today. First test for Bovalenta. He's passed with flying colours. Just like Stern, he's the man that has to keep the scoreboard turning, and does so. Lovely start from the youngster. Another big server, Simon puts it in play, well controlled. Well controlled. Nice work on the ball control from Ljubljana. Bernard finishes it nicely. And Ljubljana cling on to 8-6. I think we will see, though, during the course of this first set, a little swing in favour of Piacenza. We'll see how Ljubljana respond. Keeping the pressure on at the moment. A massive set out of the back line, defended well by Maroft. And the recycle by Una. Chops it through, Loretti makes the play. Bovalenta is stopped, crowd loving this. Sounds like a bullfight, doesn't it? Ole, every time that ball is blocked by the Ljubljana players. And they are in good shape here, the home side. Irachi stopped, and stopped well. So a couple of steps forward for Ljubljana, then the serve error each time just takes a bit of momentum away. He's a fine setter, Gregor Ropre, understudied at Perugia for a couple of seasons before going to Resovia in Poland and then coming back to Slovenia. Knows how to get the job done today. Heavy ball cross court. They leave things left and right the same, so there's no charging around on the floor for the two outsides, but Stern not able to get close to that one after Ernalt didn't put it away. Bovalenta getting into his work early. Good serve from the setter, Porro. Nice retrieve from Ropre. Maroff decides not to hit it. Well, that didn't go so well, did it? That didn't go so well for Piacenza. I think they might win it on a challenge. Possible net touch here. And oh no, Bovalenta just saying it was a touch off the block on that tip. So we might be getting a second challenge here. We are, from Dante Bonifanti. He won his first one. It's good, it's positive when a player comes right across to the coach and describes exactly what they saw happen. The problem is when it's a young player, they can be a bit reactive. Well, not just a touch on the ball, but a net touch as well. So the second challenge is won. And Porro gets to hit another one of these sweet, snappy serves. He hits the perimeters so well. There's Paolo Porro. Piacenza back on level terms then. Lovely crowd out tonight, and Ljubljana, it's a super place as well to visit if you've not been here before. Really beautiful. It's still in play, off the Bovalenta block. Stern goes again. Now it's the turn of Ljubljana to go to the challenge, because Tonček Stern is convinced this is in. It's gone Piacenza's way for the moment. But Igor Kolakovic, along with his right-sider, want to look at this ball. Has he compressed it enough to get it on the line? Stern is in the category of players that can potentially burst a Mikasa, so wouldn't be surprised if this is flattened right down. Touch the line for the point. Wow. The outer coating of the ball has touched the line. 3 challenges, all 3 won. Good stuff from the coaches and the players working together as a unit to make those things happen. And it's Ljubljana that have the 10-9 lead, not Piacenza. They're now to serve. And lost Pacer, nicely passed and absolutely crunched by Comparoni. Played for Grottazzolina last season in the Superliga, but got signed in the off-season for Piacenza. And they are into the semi-finals of the Scudetto. Brilliant win over Modena means they play Perugia in game 1 on Monday. So not a huge amount of recovery time between tonight's away game and their next domestic chore, but they really do want to get through this one with the victory. Placing the CEV Cup final up for grabs for these two teams. Ljubljana doing a fine job of just keeping that scoreboard turning in their favour. Business to serve. They are hitting Gutierrez with everything at the moment, and he's passing well. It's not going to end up in a proper attack, but Comparoni takes the ball away from Bovalenta. However, that just allowed Bovalenta to run the attack unimpaired, and he is hitting like a dream at the moment. So the two right side players are going very well indeed. Tonček Stern for Ljubljana, Bovalenta for Piacenza. And Maroft getting in on the act as well. That is not a small block to beat. Simon alongside Bovalenta, and Maroft has guided it past very nicely. Ljubljana 12-11 in this race to 25. Well, in addition to bursting the ball, Stern always feels like he's got the ability to send it through the net. But not on this occasion. 12 apiece then. Piacenza hanging in there. Bovalenta unloads. Great pass. Fantastic tempo, but it's been put out by Maroft, so his second error of this opening set. One pass error, one hitting error. Piacenza do nudge the lead now. Bovalenta again. He's still got it, hasn't he, Alan Payenk? Maybe not quite the same height as in the good old days, but he still knows how to put the ball on the floor. His first attacking point of the match. Maroft already got an ace to his name. But just balloons that out of play. So just a couple of errors creeping in for the youngest of the Ljubljana players out on the court. Just 21 years of age, Luka Maroft. To the Gutierrez serve. The Cuban once again goes off pace for the first ball. Payenk hits it nicely from behind him, but Piacenza defend well, and Bovalenta with a raking spike wins the point. Well, this is good from Piacenza, and they've got a bit of momentum. Enough momentum to force a Ljubljana timeout. Signed from Halkbank Ankara last season, coach Igor Kolikovic, but he's been around a long time. Serbian national coach, coached in Poland as well with Vartet. He's coached in France with AS Cannes down there in the south. finds himself with a very nice group of players here at Ljubljana, but they're under pressure now. Gutierrez off pace again, just making sure it goes in. Good calm dig from Bovalenta. Porro clears everyone out the way and bumps it high for Mandiracci, who shoves it down the front of the block. And Dante Boninfanti's reaction just tells you the story there. He knew this was quite an important point, and the fact that his young Turkish hitter has made it, something to celebrate. 16-13. Now Gutierrez can hit the ball hard. Net intervenes once more. High swing from Payenk, misses everything. Errors coming now from Ljubljana. This is worrying. And against a very different Piacenza lineup. Just a few cracks starting to appear here. Now, can Gutierrez get a clean ball away from the baseline? No is the answer. However, a studied service run just allows his blockers and defenders to go to work. Now, Ljubljana have the work to do. The team in orange with 3 points to find. Payenk rolls it into play. Good serve. Mandiracci blocked beautifully, and that's the second time that Gregor Ropre has got him. This is a stunning block. He's not a short man, Ropre. He's a 2 metre tall setter, so he does use this block very well. That's a beautiful stop. Nice and strong with the outside hand as Mandiracci challenged him. One of those breaks recovered then. Payenk to serve again. I don't think Loretti was expecting the pace on the serve that the last one came at him with, but he's not going to have to worry about that. You can't really stop a team going into a game that is as important as this, big with the home crowd behind them, but it always feels to me that it can be a little bit boom and bust. So Ljubljana, Stern in particular, whooping it up at the start of the game with the crowd. But volleyball is a long and organic game. It takes time to win a match. And while it's great to get off to a fiery start, this is where the real work happens. Gutierrez with the pass, follows it up with a very sensible hit. I tell you what, Gutierrez is very risk averse in this game tonight. He's making absolutely sure of everything. Couple of points for the Cuban. And the brilliant Porro to serve. It's a good one. And it's unretrievable. Ace for Paolo Porro, and the crowd here in the Tivoli Arena have gone just a little bit quiet. Might be a second time out on the way. Or a substitution. Yeah, it's a substitution. In comes Clemens Sen. 23-year-old Slovenian player, new passer. Porro decides to serve away from him and out. It's a good cushion. It looks pretty comfortable at the moment. Porro now 3 rotations in the back line means Bovalenta can bring blocking height as well as offensive power, and I think Porro's going to try and run that middle as much as possible to Simon and Comparoni. Very solid finish from the Italian. Mandiracci, heavy ball, hits it fast. And that's out of play, so the new left side player that's come on to try and tidy things up, Clemens Sen, makes an error, and the timeout does eventually come. Ljubljana in a bit of trouble here in set number 1 against a Piacenza team that are playing high on confidence.
I dodavanje lopte, i dizanje, i napad, sve na polu. Čekamo da nam oni nešto daju. Pa ne mogu nam dati sve, moramo nešto uzeti.
In terms of population, Slovenia are a small nation, so pool of talent in their various sporting endeavours is less than other nations, but my goodness me, they have some fantastic programmes. The Slovenian volleyball programme is excellent, producing some amazing players. And then looking across to the winter sports as well, they channel their resources really well. They're going to have to channel everything they've got right now, though, if they're going to get out of trouble in set number one. A 4-point lead for Piacenza. Kuznic with the serve. Gutierrez's first wayward pass from him. Again, he is not going flat out with this ball. I know he's hitting it hard and he's hitting it fast, but he's very deliberately aiming at space and getting away from the block. That's right over the top. Very nice from Gutierrez. A tumbling dig from Comparoni, followed by a monster block from Robert Landy Simon. And where Simon is concerned, you're never far away from a monster block. That's a great shutdown. He's into the game. 6 set points then for a perfect start here for Piacenza as they chase a place in the CEV Cup final. Slapped cross court inside the attack line. Good swing from Sen. Might just have booked himself a starting place for set 2 with that shot. And, a good timeout decision as well. Dante Boninfanti's not even going to let Toncek Stern have one serve. He's going to make him cool his jets. Robert Landy Simon having an extended chat there with his setter, Paolo Porro. Suspect of the, if it's a good ball, give it to me variety. Let's see if they can get a decent pass in here. Toncek Stern then is the man to try and save it for Ljubljana. Needs a massive service run here. And it's not going to happen with that miss hit. 25-19 then, Piacenza put the first set in the bank. They are 2 sets away from a place in the CEV Cup final. Well, the reaction from Robert Landy Simon as his team is changing ends there just underlines the professionalism of this squad. This is a player that's won just about everything in the game. But Simon right on the back of his players to try and keep them going, keep them focused. And Ljubljana, after an encouraging start, not able to contend with that serving and offense power that Piacenza brought to the table. As you tailor the tape, so Piacenza's attacking superior, ace count superior, just the blocks from Ljubljana that won the day on special teams, but that advantage given back with more errors. So if you've just joined us, a reminder, Piacenza won game 1 in 5 sets, so they still have to win 3 sets tonight to qualify, but any victory, 3-0, 3-1 or 3-2 is good enough. And even if they lose the game 3-2, they are Now, there were moments in game one where Ljubljana were able to outmuscle the lineup that Antti Bonifanti had out on the floor for Piacenza. I think it's going to be pretty obvious now to the Ljubljana players, particularly the experienced competitors out there on the floor, the likes of Ropre and Unal. I think they're going to know that they're not outmuscling this Piacenza group of players. So it's going to have to be a very patient and very accurate attempt to win this match, and by that I mean they're going to have to contain the serving, they're going to have to keep the scoreboard turning on side outs and be prepared to be patient into the 20s or more. That's something they were able to do in game one, not something they were able to do against this starting lineup for Piacenza tonight, who look very strong indeed from the midway phase on. Set number 2 then, away we go in the orange. ACH Volley Ljubljana, the home side here in the Tivoli arena. Up against the Italian team, ourselves Bluenergy PIACENZA in the white and red, who've made it through to the semi-finals of the Scudetto in Italy. With a big win over Modena. They start those semi-finals on Monday against Perugia. They would dearly love to go into that series knowing they have a place in the CEV Cup final. They are 2 sets away from doing that. Good stuff from Stern. He's got no off switch. He's an absolute beast when it comes to offense, Tonček Stern, so he's just got to keep hammering away. And the only ex out on the floor, incidentally, did play for Piacenza back in the day, Tonček Stern. Didn't get a huge amount of court time. Oh, nice. Nice read. Just a little move there from Kritic in the middle. Reading Comparoni on the back set and hanging it out and dropping the hands for a second movement. Very good work. Encouraging start again for Ljubljana. Well, there you go. There's a setter. Still young, but mightily confident. Just goes back to exactly the same ball. Comparoni demolishes it. Starting the game ahead of Ieg Bakero and Gianluca Galassi. Looks like he's still not ready to be starting matches, but he'll be hoping to be back for the Scudetto semis. Good work. That's good work from Gutierrez to try and get the reuse, but he's been called for a net touch. Will we get our first challenge of set 2? Let's have a look. Now he's overstepped the line. There we go. That's what the second official has spotted. Over the middle line with his foot. So good work there from Josip Hristov. Gutierrez targeted. Bovalenta doesn't go full tilt, and they're going to get a... Well, they get it over. They don't get a swing on it. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Simon hit that very hard. Unfortunately, a deflection, I think, saved Gregor Ropre's looks. So over it goes. Watch Ropre adjust his short. Oh, yeah. He's a lucky boy there. Could have been nasty. So Bovalenta's been brilliant, but not starting set number 2 particularly positively from the service line. Stern missed his last serve, puts this one in with force. Loretti passes well. Bovalenta immediately recovers. This is a team in really good nick right now. Piacenza in a very good flow. Rhythm is excellent. And this is where Ljubljana now have to be patient. Just dig in. Side out for side out, as deep as you can take it. Heavy serve from Gutierrez. Great pass. And very nice tempo out wide. So it isn't a start for Clemens Sen out on the wing. It's Luka Marov that returns. And a good tempo ball from Ropre. Nice, very nice. Tina now enjoyed that one. Played for JTEC Stings, then Wolf Dogs Nagoya out in Japan. Gave great service for both those teams. Then a short spell with Al Rayyan. And back to Ljubljana. So Ljubljana unable to get more than a couple of points ahead, so Piacenza never really that far away from them, and when the pressure was delivered by the Italian side, that's when Ljubljana lost the lead and couldn't resist. Good shot. He's a classy pro. He's Tino now, and that's a classy hit. Laser-like, I would call it. Focuses on a tiny gap on that far side, hitting past the middle blocker in at the net and in defence, and he makes it look easy. Payenk, another good top-spinning serve. Mandiraci hasn't really got into the game at the moment. Turkish outside, he's such a devastating hitter when he gets things working. Quite been his day at the moment. Good tip to make the point, but quite in rhythm right now, Mandiraci. Poro takes some pace off him. Still in play. There we go, there we go. That's what Mandiraci brings you. Great power to weight ratio. Strong lad, not much to him, so he flies and he can get off the floor without much of an approach and take that ball off the top of the antenna on the tempo. 7-all, Piacenza back in it, Poro again. Tried for a bit more on that one, but nothing doing. Piacenza have had a lot of success just putting 80% serves in and just letting the process happen, letting the blockers and defence do the job. They don't have to be banging aces to win points against Ljubljana. Again, tempo is excellent, but the ball just a bit high for Mandiraci. The save, though, is excellent from Comparoni. That's the old 1-2. You don't win the point on the first swing, but your blockers back you up. Great stop from Comparoni. Right, see if Mandiraci can get his serve going. He can. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, you see it once or twice during the course of a season. I'm amazed with the speed at which players approach offence that we don't see more clashes out on the court. This one strictly a backcourt mix-up, unfortunately. No way past Maroft for the libero Kovacic. Piacenza lead. Ljubljana have to be, as I said, patient through these phases of the game, but the real test for them comes as we move towards 20 points, the business end. That's when they've got to try and resist what Piacenza are able to bring to the party. Clever. Takes the setter Ropre out of the action, and then the block again is the follow-up. Maroft is stopped by Comparoni, and he's wondering where the backup was here as the ball lobs over the defenders. Sensible bit of work. In fact, it was Stern that was taken out of the play. My apologies. So Ropre is still available to set, but no defenders home on cover. Simon gets hands on it and then gets hands on the net, which he's happy to own up to. Honesty from the Piacenza captain. Well, in all honesty, he wouldn't have got away with it. 10-all. Kriznic. Deep serve. It's coming back, but Gutierrez is just getting tested a bit now, and that's a really, really clever play. That is a fantastic piece of thinking from Toncek Stern. You volley it easy, I'll take that as a set. And it was put away nicely for 11-10. Just some concerns here about Gutierrez's pass, if Ljubljana can keep testing him. Overpass, put away with ease by Pajenk, and Ljubljana have a 2-point lead again. The crowd are back with it. Gutierrez can come out for maybe Bergman, or probably more likely Robert Andringe of the Netherlands if his passing does get a bit fractured. It's a bit better, and it's just crunched through the middle. I wonder how easy Robert Landy Simon is to set 2. I bet he's not as easy as you think. Got a lot of range on his shots, but he doesn't always take it that high. Just out. So Piacenza is still trying to force it from the baseline without much luck. And Ljubljana's patience is being rewarded here. 2-point lead then as we approach the halfway mark. Another tough ball. Porro gets to it. Nobody swings on it. Should be a 3-point lead here for the home side. No, they've defended it. They've got control. Oh, that is genius from Paolo Porro. You could see what he was going to do, but I think the blockers were just thinking, no, you are not going to do this. You are not going to do this. Oh, you did it. Very good. And very good availability from Simon. Gutierrez then trying to repair the damage. He goes off pace. Good pass from Pajenk, and a nice attack as well. Ropre going to one of his go-to men from the Slovenian squad. They're still cutting the mustard. Off pace, Mandiracci, who's barely passed a ball for a while, puts it in very nicely. They are getting to him at the moment, Mandiracci, so probably needs to just change his angles a little bit in offence, take it a wee bit higher, use his jump height, get over the top of that block, because he does have that physicality. Well, 21-15, Piacenza's offence is strong at the moment. Serving not so strong. The errors at the moment in set 2 are keeping Ljubljana in this. You will see Piacenza, I'm sure, tighten things up over the next few rotations from the service line. Now, can Pajenk stick another deep topspin into play? He can. And been a while since Bovalenta has been set, so that was not risky from Porro, but it was certainly asking quite a bit of Bovalenta. That was a pressure ball after a moment of quietness, and he's hit it again quite brilliantly. What a player. Porro goes jump float. They're going to let the block and defence do the job, and it does it well. There we go. There we go. That's all Mandiracci wants, the space to see the court, and then he will unload on it. Nice set from Porro. Good pace. So this is the phase now. Kolikovic, the coach for Ljubljana, has both timeouts available still, and his challenges. He might need to use them in the next few minutes. Good defence, chance to score. And the chance is not taken. Good shout from Mandiracci to control the ball. Bovalenta gets the back set, crunches it off the chasing blockers. 16-15. Now the work comes for Ljubljana and for their coach Igor Kolikovic. Got to get his team back on track here.
Ali smo nesrpljivi, hoćemo odmah poen da napravimo, imamo, ovako smo izblokirani bez potrebe. Dalje, samo strpljivo sa tim kontranapadom. Imamo ovu utakmicu, vjerujte mi, imamo, samo treba da predupčimo. Ajde.
Checked Kolakovic's profile the other day, and he's got something like 8 working languages, so he's proficient in about 8 languages in terms of communicating volleyball. I guess it's what you pick up over 30 years of coaching at this level. Porro once again trusts his blockers. This time though, there's a way through for Ernal. So Robrecht to serve, which means Stern is back to the front line. That's important for Ljubljana for these next 3 rotations. Can they get this to 20 points plus with the scores still level? Anything else is a massive bonus. Robrecht can't oblige from the service line. Now this is where I think Piacenza will tighten it up with their serving. Mirachi next. Yeah, 70%er. Blockers read it, get a good block up on Stern, and he doesn't look that comfortable out on the left side. It's the second error from him. Right, a lot of pressure on this next set now for Gregor Robrecht. I would imagine he's going to earn up. Well, doesn't have to. Mandirachi. Not a great time to miss for Piacenza and for young Mandirachi, and I don't think Dante Bonifanti was too impressed. It was a major chance for a point score for Piacenza, and now Ernal is at the line. And he can't find a way. Now this looks a little worrying for the home team, Ljubljana. Piacenza with a golden opportunity here to take a 2-0 lead. Nice swing from Stern. Gutierrez gets a long way off the floor, so he puts up a big block. He takes a lot of area away. Stern very carefully past him. Just the 1 point still required by Ljubljana, but the scores are close. Gutierrez makes the error. Another very cheeky set from Paolo Porro. That's a naughty set to Robert Landy Simon. Second one-hander that he's landed for the big man. Valenta, heavy ball on Madoff. Out of system swing. Blockers are there, and the blockers make it count. Porro next to Simon, and for 183, Paolo Porro is a real presence at the net. Not as big a presence as his captain, though, who is just huge, but it is all Porro. Second timeout for Ljubljana. Well, I hate to say it, but you've got to dial it back to the Stern miss followed by the Ernal service miss, and those 2 momentum stoppers have just allowed Piacenza to get something for free. So now they have license to push really hard here, and Ljubljana have to get that ball back, and then they've got to make sure they target Gutierrez with everything they've got. Really got to try and take his pass to the very limit. 21-18, it's all good at the moment for the Italian club. And then Volleyball misses off the back of the timeout, which is exactly what Igor Kolakovic would have wanted. And a timeout from Dante Boninfanti, so he's realised that this is still potentially a dangerous situation for Piacenza. Ljubljana fans desperate to see their team into the tie. At the moment, they're heading out in the semi-final stage. Hands of a good Piacenza performance, and that is not what the team needed. Good timeout that from Dante Boninfanti. Just taking some steam out of Ljubljana. Gutierrez from the line. Tries to put a bit more on it, but fizzes it out of bounds. It's a 2-point game still, which is recoverable by Ljubljana, but they're going to have to play very well to do it. It's a point blocker situation, so Gregor Ropre leaves the court. Ropre is a very good blocker indeed, but they're just going to bring a little bit of extra height in. Alan Skett at 2:05. And it is an early chance to block for Skett. It's great recovery work from Ljubljana, and that is just two thumping hits. Mandiracci on that angle, on that tempo ball, is a scary prospect, as Ljubljana just found out. Great effort on the first one. What a super dig. Kovacic, nothing doing on the second play. Wins in 21 for Ljubljana in the league season, but they're being tested tonight in Europe. On comes Leon, new blocker on court for Piacenza, no setter. That'll be reversed now, so Leon, who played quite a lot in game one of this tie, he vacates the court now. Back in comes the playmaker Porro. And two side-outs for Piacenza will do it, so somebody's got to put pressure on with the serve. Payenk's serve has been a problem at the moment for Gutierrez. He's not passed it all that well. And a little shift around on the passing lineup produces the error from Payenk. And Kolakovic frustrated, understandably so. 24-21 then, 3 set points for a 2-0 lead. Porro to serve. Ball in court down the line, good serve. Tight one, overpass. Chance here. Not finished clinically. And Bovalenta is put on the floor by Ernat and Kruznic. Wow, what a block. Boninfanti's still got a timeout, by the way, so they need to use it. It's Ernat all the way. No, he's going to give his team one more chance. Ropre to serve. In court. Out of system ball. He'd actually forced to tip. This one he can hit, and he hits it hard. Well defended by Ernau, and it's hit the ceiling. Would you believe it? 25-22, Piacenza lead by 2-0, and now they are just a single set away from a place in the CEV Cup final. Well, this is unlucky, but it was hit hugely hard. Good defensive work from Ljubljana, but Mandiracci with that swing, just massive. Now, I believe one of the rules they're going to try out over the summer is that if the bounce off the flags or the ceiling isn't too big, you can play on. That, along with 8 substitutions. libero being able to serve. There's a whole bunch of rule changes that are potentially coming in to look forward to this summer. 25-19, 25-22. Sales Bluenergy PIACENZA are in charge of this match at the moment. Well, special teams just about level in that one. A few more errors from PIACENZA. There was a lot of serving errors at the start of the set. They managed to get rid of that as the set went on. Ljubljana did so much right, but just couldn't hang in there when it got to the business end. Now, it's what we love about the sport of volleyball, but it's what has made it very difficult for TV schedulers down the years. This game could be running for another 20 minutes or so. We've been out on court for just over 55 minutes. However, if Ljubljana manage to win the next 3 sets, we will then be presented with a golden set to decide the winners. So we could be on court for another hour and a half, 2 hours. It's still a possibility. But you would say at the moment, in this form, PIACENZA now red-hot favourites. Well, compared to the heroics last week in game 1 of this semi-final from Ljubljana away at PIACENZA, tonight at home in the Tivoli arena, it's been rather disappointing. It's up to the team in orange now to respond. Can ACH Volley Ljubljana play themselves back into this semi-final tie? At the moment, the team in white and red, Gas Sales Bluenergy PIACENZA, Scudetto semi-finalists now after their victory over Modena, could be CEV Cup finalists if they can win this next set. One more set required then for the Italians to get through. Ljubljana have made a good start to the previous 2 sets, and they're going to make a good start to this one. Net touch from Bovalenta gives Ljubljana a 2-point lead. But as Ljubljana have found out against this very strong PIACENZA lineup, you can start the set well, but if you don't finish it well, you're not going to get any joy from the game. Oh, ace from Luka Moroft, and a 3-0 start for PIACENZA. And a timeout from a very unimpressed Dante Boninfanti. The PIACENZA coach stops the match. Interesting interview from Gianluca Galassi ahead of this game in the press conference, and he said it with a smile on his face, but he was very specific. And pro players know that it's virtually impossible to do what he said, but I think it summarises how PIACENZA feel about this fixture. He said, we have to concentrate on every single rally. There isn't any time in this match to just let it go. And Ljubljana proving that at the start of the third. Good response from Gutierrez. Very few tuck the shirt in at this level. Gutierrez does. But when you hit the ball that hard and you jump that high, you can do what you want, basically. Good response from Ljubljana. Nice to go to 4-1. Game on at the moment. Aiming it at the middle blocker defending, Comparoni. Payeng to serve. Oh, Gutierrez nearly fooled there by Simon, who left the ball. Still a chance to get to 5-1 here for the home side. Oh, wow. That was vertical from the Cuban and the former Cuban. Robert Landy Simon with a towering stop next to Gutierrez. Some obstacle. And just like set number 2, Piacenza's serving in the early stages. Error strewn. Bonifante will know that this is not a game that they can afford to relax in. Ljubljana will punish them if they do. Overpass. Chance for 6-2. Tonček Stern takes it. Well, from the home fans' point of view, it's all woken up again. It's very much Ljubljana back in the driving seat. 4-point lead, best lead they've had in the game so far. Oh, just crazy stuff. I reckon Porro was, what, 4 metres away from the net when he set that ball? Beautifully done. What a swing from Simon. Right, Gutierrez with a chance to put his team back in it. No, got the toss wrong. Good defence from Loretti. High ball, Mandiracci gets to it, but tips straight onto the head of Stern. Stern just does not look happy left side. Got his timing all wrong there. Referee says it's Piacenza's point. Are we going to get a challenge? I think we might be. Yeah, we are, from Igor Kolikovic. Going to take a look at this one, but it does look out. I didn't like the orange and navy blue dragon t-shirts, and the crowd are going to like that. It's in. Every challenge that's been called tonight has been successful. Well played to the coaches and the players. Oh no, Stern got that one in. He was all over the place on that shot. 7-3 it is. And then Ernau doesn't manage to bring that one, and I know it means Piacenza haven't actually sided out. But felt like a ball that needed to go in. Right, this is the kind of situation Robert Landy Simon loves at the service line. Off-pace serve, hits Kriznic. And that's great play from Maroft. Big apology from Robert Landy Simon, but the 2 metres and 8 middle blocker ain't defending that one. Great shot. For Ljubljana, long way to go, but they're in a position here to take a set at least. Oh, dear me. Well, not even Gutierrez can fly high enough to get that one. Second miss time between he and Porro this evening. And Andringa comes in to replace him, so a little bit of stability in the pass. Andringa is not as damaging a hitter as Gutierrez can be, and he doesn't look too happy about being taken off. Oh, goodness me, they're having a bit of a nightmare here. Piacenza, and that's a net fault now called by the second referee. 10-4, the set's gone. Well, it is definitely played in the wrong airspace, played with a touch on the net. Porro banged to rights. Second timeout used by Dante Boninfanti, and when a coach has used both timeouts after just 14 points, you know their team is in trouble. Well, this is going to require an absolutely huge effort from Piacenza now to win this set and win the match. I think Ljubljana are in the hunt. I was talking about the fact this game could be extended by quite a considerable time frame, and Ljubljana set about making the comeback happen. Very good. 10-4 in set 3. Can't afford to lose another set, remember. They've got to win 4 sets on the bounce, effectively. Sets 3 and 4, winning the tiebreaker in set 5, and then winning the golden set, which would be set 6. Out of bounds from Porro. I think we're going to 4, that's for sure. Piacenza are going to have to do something pretty spectacular here, or Ljubljana are going to have to implode for a 4th set not to happen. Wow, 27 serve errors at the moment between the two teams. It's so impressive, isn't it? Bovolenta's been quite underused, actually, this evening. This might be the set where he gets a heavier workload. Virachi, good ball. Down, tickles it off the net. Bovolenta came in to lend himself as the third blocker, but that leaves a lot of space on the wing that you've vacated. Six-point lead should be good enough for Ljubljana. Lovely service. Defended off the block by Bovolenta. He gets the return ball, and he is stuffed. Pajenk next to his equally experienced colleague in the Slovenian national squad, Tine Onar, with the stop. Calm as you like from the two blockers here. Very well organised. Well, what a difference a positive scoreboard makes to the servers. You can see already the Ljubljana servers buoyed on confidence here. Bovolenta does eventually get his point, but not before some further damage is done. It's like we're in the set 4 waiting room now. Can Ljubljana take it there? Well, they can with play like that. Nice work, Rob Preta Pajenk. That highly experienced Slovenian front line doing a fabulous job. Double substitution then, just to shake it up a little bit. I think Dante Boninfanti accepting this set has gone. So in comes another veteran player, Dragan Travice, 39 years of age. Comes in as the setter, and Frenchman Henri Emmanuel Leon Comes in opposite. 3 new players on court then for Piacenza, and that's a very nice hit from Robert Andringa. He's such an adaptable player. Andringa has played out-and-out libero for the Netherlands, but he's also a fine wing spiker, and that means you've got a great passer defender on court the whole time. Kravica with the serve. Too good, too easy. Krisnic with lots of space, even though he was tight to the line, felt like he had a lot of space here. And he did. Free net. I like the look from Andringa to Simon there, as if to ask, where were you, skipper? Well, the rest of the game is going to depend very much on whether Ljubljana can continue to bring this service heat that we've seen in set 3. Nice stop from Leon. Simon on her now. Now, little bit of a pressure phase here for Ljubljana. They've got to keep these side outs coming. Given that one for free on the Andringa serve. Have no doubt that we'll see a return to the original starting lineup from Dante Boninfanti when we go into set 4. Can't see how we don't go there. Be a shocker if Ljubljana lost it from here. Simon wants the touch. Referee gives it to him. Middle blocker owns up to it. No aces yet from Robert Landy. Still no aces. Good work. Ropre's running a nice expansive offense now and looking very confident with his decisions. And outscores just. 6-point lead maintained. Krisnic from the line. What will the response from Piacenza be in set number 4? Leon slowed down. It'll do from Stern, not his best hit. Not really been a part of the game tonight, Stern, in the way that he would like to be. There's still plenty of time, and as I said, we could be here for another hour and a half plus, sorting this one out. So we're going to come down to Piacenza's response, and they think there's a couple of touches there from the one player, and the referee finally agrees. Now, that is slightly worrying. Touches from Mandiaracci. That is slightly worrying. Mandiaracci there signalling to Dante Boninfanti something about his shoulder. I don't think he was talking about what just happened. We'll keep an eye on that for you. I'm sure it's not a serious problem. What is a serious problem though for Piacenza is their loss of form here. They're getting absolutely thumped in set number 3. And Ljubljana are still in this semi-final. Krisnic to serve again, 9-point lead. Once again, Leon trying to go steep, and the block gets hold of him. Payenk. He's a very chest-on player. He doesn't run a particularly nasty power line, Payenk. But what he does do very well is he turns it one way or the other. Nicely done. Galassi's in. Well, he gets the ball straight away from Travice. That's an encouraging sight for Gianluca Galassi, who's missed a little bit of the back half of this season. Championship gold medalist with the Italian squad a couple of years back. So Bovalenta and Porro return. That was just a bit of a breather there, just to give the youngsters a bit of time out from the game. They know the set is lost, so it's all about focus on winning this in 4. And remember, if they win it in 5, they are still through. But Ljubljana are going to try and make this evening as uncomfortable now as they possibly can. And their confidence after the way they've played in this 3rd set will be high. It's the serving that has been very impressive. Can they keep that going? Wow. Brilliant from Payenk. So much experience in the game, so much quality. And reads the Galassi play from way out. Once again, Szkiet comes in as the point blocker for Ropre. So Kojkovic is really sticking to his guns here, and great from Szkiet. So Szkiet's time on court will be short-lived. Ropre will come straight back. Just the 2 points needed then for Ljubljana to put away a very quick set. That'll do it. Paintbrush from Payenk. That's him turning the ball the other way, across his body. After squaring up Galassi. They've romped it. Look at this. 11 set points then. And Ljubljana get it done in style. Marovt with another ace, his 3rd ace of the night. And Ljubljana are in this match. The game feels like it is still very much up for grabs. Piacenza lead 2-1, but Ljubljana look to be back in the mix. Well, we can harvest a whole bunch of cliches at this point. I'm going with it ain't over until it's over. Ljubljana proving that fact. Piacenza far too casual coming into that 3rd set and got punished with some forceful play by the home side. 25-19, 25-22. It should be in the bag for Piacenza right now, but it isn't. Anything but. 25-13 in the 3rd. A little reminder of just how strong this Ljubljana lineup is. 2 aces, 4 blocks, and a completely dominant offense. Ljubljana have given themselves at least a chance here in the Tivoli arena. Fans certainly re-engaged here, and plenty. Well, we're CEV European club competition is concerned, there is always room for some drama. And here in this Volleyball Cup semi-final, Piacenza looked like they were going to run away with it for a place in the final, but no. They've been stopped in their tracks by a spirited and characterful recovery from the home side. ACH Volley Ljubljana now in the orange and in the mix. Captain Robert Landi Simon has to push his Piacenza players on to greater efforts in this fourth set. Trying to build his role in this match. He'll be important in set number 4. So we're going to find out over the next few minutes whether that performance from Ljubljana, which was brilliant in the third set, is going to stir Piacenza into the efforts we saw in sets 1 and 2. We're back to the original lineup for Piacenza, so Bovalenta opposite, Mandiracci and Gutierrez, who's being made to suffer a little bit on the pass. They go left side. Porro, the setter, and Comparoni with Simon, the captain, down the middle. So big few minutes this for Ljubljana. They've got to make this work for them. They've got to keep the scoreboard turning. Now, Robert Landi Simon thinks Alain Payenk touched the net here. Payenk is furious at the suggestion. Oh, wow, that ball might have still been in play. It was in play. It was in play as Payenk collided with the net. And now Payenk has come to apologise to Simon for the clash of bodies, which does happen at this level. No player ever looking to injure the other, but Payenk is convinced he's innocent here. I think on the challenge he's going to find out that he isn't. All challenges won so far tonight. So there we go. He's okay on the line, but he's touched the net. And that ball has not hit the floor. Challenge is won, I think there was a challenge by Piacenza. Anyway, the point's gone to the Italians, not the start Ljubljana were looking for. It's in play again. Gutierrez gets there awkwardly. A strange bump set hit on the reverse. And Piacenza made to pay there. While Simon ran that back play, that meant that Bovalenta didn't have a clear route to the ball. 2-1 Piacenza. Mandiracci waits to pass the next Toncek serve. Toncek down, his name chanted by the crowd. Got to put a big performance together from here. Little 80% serve. Power tip on the pipe. Porro is not hitting his set locations at the moment, and that is not a ball that Murov needed to miss. Ljubljana needed that point. Missing his pipes right now, Porro. On occasion tonight, he is set with just genius. Absolute genius, but he's also made a few errors. And that's been forced through by Payenk, who can't resist a little look at Robert Landi Simon after that one. So the response from Piacenza is solid. Ljubljana trying to counter, and all that wonderful service rhythm that they had in set 3. Not quite there at the moment, but off with the error. Simon Still doesn't have an ace tonight. It's unusual for him to go through a game without a wild, swinging ace. Well, it's a forceful serve. It's an out-of-system ball, and it's passed over and smacked away with ease by Paolo Porro. 183, but he's so confident at the net. Right, Simon needs to put another one in. No, and every time Piacenza miss, Ljubljana are still hanging around on that scoreboard, looking to make this evening a big one. Shirts off for Dante Boninfanti. It's getting interesting down there. Ljubljana need to push hard here. Good serve from Payek. He's had a great game. Oh, Bovalenta is blocked straight down, but it's out of bounds, and it hasn't hit the young Italian right side. Ljubljana have to try and keep the pressure on Gutierrez from the service line. Dear me, that is not Paolo Porro's best, and his body language just showing a bit of frustration at the way he's played in the last set or so. Coverage by Ljubljana. Oh, it's brilliant work from Krznić, and fabulous in defence from Stern. I said right at the top of this match, this could be a very special night of European volleyball. If Ljubljana play strong from here, there's still that possibility of a place in the CEV Cup final, but their serving has gone off track at the moment. Ropre, the latest defender. See how loose Mandiracci's shoulder is. He does look okay after that discussion with the bench, although that's not hit hard. Wow, just wow. Ropre to Krznić, what a shot from him. Oh, nice touch from Ernal. Still in play though. Mandiracci goes for the circus trick. Gutierrez hits it well, it's defended nicely, but it's a net touch that gives the point away. Ljubljana and Toncek Stern going too high and too far over the net. Frustrating because that ball was in play. So Piacenza passed the first tricky test. Scores could have been level there. It's an overpass, it's well contained, it's well blocked by Simon. And Stern forces it through, well seen by Comparoni. There's your classic Robert Landi, club it from anywhere, Simon. How does he come up with these arm swings? Good movement as well to get himself in position, and just swipes it off his chest and down. Helps when you're 2 meters and 8 tall. Comparoni long. And an apology very quickly to everybody. He knows his coach, he's not going to be happy with him for that one. Feeling it, isn't he? Dante Boninfanti definitely feeling a change in the hall here. Ljubljana playing well. That's a great shot. Horrible pass from Gutierrez, but that is a fantastic hit from Bovalenta. Watch him line up the angle here. That's exactly what he wants to do with that ball. Inside the attack line, inside the defence of Toncek Stern. 14 points on the night, but no aces, no blocks for Bovalenta. Easy ball for Stern. Looks like he's settled into more of a rhythm now. He was pushing a bit too hard, trying a bit too hard in the first 2 sets. But he looks like he could be the man now. Lovely flat ball out wide. Look at the height Gutierrez gets on that block. And he's been nailed. He's been absolutely nailed, Gutierrez. And that's 2 very good points back to back from Stern. Well, amazingly, you would have thought Kolakovic at 3 down would have called the timeout, but he didn't. Let his team play, and it's actually Dante Boninfanti that's called the timeout for Piacenza. Well, the big worry here for Piacenza is the Gutierrez pass. Can Ljubljana keep targeting him with big serves? Wow, this is huge from Tonček Stern. He is playing now. Ace for 10-all. Ljubljana are back in this 4th set. And the Tivoli arena has just exploded. A bit too much on that one. Didn't need a better ace, just needed another ace. A wry smile from the big man. Pressure is on both these coaches, and for Piacenza, that pressure is causing some real problems. Service has been blunted for now. I think we got a match on our hands here. I think Ljubljana have a big chance in this game now. Can they take it? Gutierrez again passes off the net. Allows a defensive touch, not converted by Ljubljana, but those touches are coming. Right, they've decided they need a bit more experience on court. So Comperoni off, and in comes the worldly wise Gianluca Galassi. Mentally, we know he's up to the task. Physically, is he up to this task? Domenico Paci yelling the instructions from the sideline, not featuring as the libero this evening. Good block. It's that man Porro again. At 183, you should not be stopping the ball on a regular basis like he does. Nothing flash about it, he just gets his hands to the place where that ball is coming over the net. It's a remarkable stop. 13-11, Piacenza sneak away again. Good serve. Once again manages to hit Payenk front court. And then Simon defends as well, putting in a shift here, Robert Landy Simon. But the free net is an absolute freebie. Moroft with the finish. Great response from Ljubljana. And the man whose serve has been a bit troublesome for Gutierrez to serve next, Alain Payenk. Hits him again, better pass from Gutierrez. Run out of the back line from Bovalenta. I think Porro's got to settle into some rhythm here, and it feels to me like Mandaracci and Bovalenta have got to be the 2 key players for him. Porro to serve. Bovalenta into the front court. He needs blocks. Piacenza need blocks. Well, there is one. Not from Bovalenta, but Mandaracci and Galassi. And Galassi's definitely made a difference. Coming into the lineup, he's just stabilised things a bit. Allows Mandaraci to go to work on that block. So first timeout called in this fourth set for Igor Kolikovic, and just making the point that in the rotations that they need to win points on, they're competing pretty well. So they've got to keep doing that, and they've got to try and find a way of stopping Piacenza scoring when their rotations favour them. And this is a couple of rotations coming where it is Piacenza favourites. Good serve from Porro. Oh, now lines it up beautifully. I think Gutierrez caught in two minds there about where he was going to defend. He just got stuck at 6. Big corner open at 5, and Ernalt finds it. Ropre to serve. Recent hero Stern returns to the front court. They don't need to be hitting Mandaraci or Loretti with the serve. They've got to keep trying to find Gutierrez. That was a bit of an easy one for Piacenza. Mandaraci to serve. Gutierrez into the front line. Stern pumps it off of the Cuban's block for the point. In fact, it's Ernalt, my apologies. That's that rotation where Ernalt stays right side. Stern stays nearest the camera. Right, big points coming up for Ljubljana. Tine Ernalt to serve. Just try and keep it rolling. He does so. Good shot from Gutierrez. Block works well to defend. Oh, that is marvellous. That's just beautiful volleyball. Tomahawk defensive pass over the baseline from Ernalt, right on Ropre's head, and he runs the back set to Krinic, who's playing some really good volleyball. Point in it. Ernalt misses. Oh, another one of those serves from Tine Ernalt that really needed to be in. A little bit of frustration from him as well. Good chance here for Piacenza to try and score. Galassi, not an ace man by any means, but he can put a tricky ball in. Covered by Maroft. Stern is in business now. Toncek Stern is locked into this match. Loving those flat sets from Ropre. So Krinic to serve. Feels like this is a rotation where Ljubljana want to score. Very difficult though when you've got Gutierrez one side, you've got Bovalenta nearest the camera, you've got Simon in the middle. As long as that ball is over the attack line, Porro can run the show. Right, serious application to the task required now from both teams. Bovalenta fizzes an ace. Catches the net, but catches the line as well. And that might be the point that does it for Piacenza. What a hit. Second timeout for Igor Kolikovic. And his team now under pressure. Huge amount of information to impart there. That was just about stopping the next serve from Bovalenta. Three greats in conversation. Simon, Papi, Bonifanti. Three-point cushion. Bovalenta to serve. It's not really good enough from the youngster there. Obviously felt he had license to go for it, but straight into the net is a real momentum stopper. And now they've got Gutierrez front court at 4. That is a clear service target for Toncek Stern. And this is massive. This service run could dictate whether this game goes to 5 or not. Brilliant serve, brilliant pass. And Bovalenta finds the corner. That's a huge point for Piacenza. What a dig from Laurenti. What a swing from Bovalenta. Held his nerve there, didn't he? Made up for the service error just earlier. 1 ace, 18 spikes for points, but no blocks still. Right, Gutierrez. Off pace, puts it in. Block covers nicely. Blocks there again, but they can't stop the swing from Madoft. Can Ljubljana find some points from somewhere? They are still in this semi-final. Madoft it will be. Next at the service line, Ropre out, so they're going to play that Schechter blocking substitution now. 2 meters and 5 tall, Schecht. And that's the way to take it out of the equation. Quick thinking from Paolo Porro, and Piacenza move to 21-18 now, 4 points away from a place in the CEV Cup final. Payenk had to go with Simon. So, Czech's time on court done. Might be his time in the match done as well if Ljubljana lose the set. Ropre back in, and it looks like they are going to lose the set and the match, because Simon has just battered an ace off the arms of Madoft, and that might be the lead that closes the door for Piacenza. Point blocker again, Piacenza this time employing that. Porro comes out, Leon, 204 comes in at the net, much taller man. No setter on court for Piacenza. Right, out of system. Ball is not defended. That is some hit from Stern. Wow, he has absolutely thundered that. Not sure you can hit a ball much harder. Three points in it. Simon's service run is over, but that ace, massively important. Leon returns to the bench. Porro comes back in as the playmaker and signals to his hitters where he's going. Saves it. But it's a free ball. Ljubljana have to score with this. They don't do it at the first time of asking. Second time. Stern, another huge hit. Definitely hit the fingertips. That double noise echoed around the Tivoli arena. He's been brilliant in these last couple of sets, has Toncek Stern. 2 points in it. Payenk to serve. Pass now, particularly from Gutierrez, is vital. It's okay, but it's out from Mandiracci. He doesn't want the coach to waste a challenge. Lead is reduced to just a single point, and Ljubljana now are definitely in this one. Second time out taken by Dante Bonifanti as Mandiracci puts it wide. Basically telling Gutierrez, you got one job, to pass the ball. That's your sole focus. I'm amazed. I'm amazed he hasn't brought Robert Andringa in at this point. He's going to let Gutierrez see this through. huge chance. For the second time in this fourth set, there is a huge chance for Ljubljana. Not just in the set, but in the match. And what looked like a decisive lead for Piacenza has been whittled away. They need the side out here. Payeng does not miss serves. Gutierrez gives chase. Chose the seam very wisely, but the block saves the day. That is a monster from Manderacci on Stern. And he's gone off on a little lap of honour there. Thoroughly deserved. That is block of the day. Wow, great serve run from Payeng. Piacenza 2 points away from the final, but it won't feel like that right now. It's going to feel horrible down there on the floor for the players. Good serve from Porro. Big point now for Stern. He's blocked again, but it's out. Takes it off Galassi's hands and wide of the court, and he is the go-to man right now for Ljubljana. (23-22), Piacenza to try and take it to match point on the Rodprey serve. It's a good hit, great pass, Loretti. Bovalenta puts it away. And silence descends in the Tivoli arena. 2 match points for Gas Sales Bluenergy Piacenza. And the crowd getting onto Bovalenta's case here. He's responded. Probably didn't need to do that. Manderacci serves, nearly an ace. Out of system swing. Stern's put it out. Oh no. And Piacenza have ridden their luck in this fourth set. Ljubljana did so much right, but in the end, the final couple of points belong to the Italians. And Gas Sales Bluenergy Piacenza win it in 4 sets to win the tie. And their end of season is going from strength to strength as they book their place in the CEV Cup final. Well, that was one hell of a game of volleyball. What a service. What a pickup from Ernal. And Stern just can't find a finishing touch. He's played brilliantly in the last 2 sets, but that's not his most comfortable hitting side. And out it goes for the Piacenza win. Well, that's great to see from the Piacenza players. They are pumped at what is happening with their season right now. So there's your final set score, 3-1 to Piacenza, 25-19, 25-22. Good comeback from Ljubljana in the third. But they get it over the line in the end, and Alessandro Bovalenta is crowned most valuable player for tonight's match. Well, he continues to deliver for this Piacenza team. For ACH Volley Ljubljana, they will now turn their attentions to the domestic championship. They're into the semi-finals there. They are the red-hot favourites to claim the title. But they had chances tonight. Slow start really hurt them, but they showed real character to play themselves back into the mix. In the end, though, Piacenza's quality with that starting lineup just bringing it home. 3-1 then to Gas Sales Bluenergy Piacenza. They beat ACH Volley Ljubljana on the night to make it through to the final, and now they can turn their attentions as well to domestic matters. And the semi-final, game 1 against the mighty Sasuza Sky Perugia on Monday night. But for tonight, here in Ljubljana, it's about the celebrations. I think Dante Boninfanti might give his team just an evening to enjoy. Straight over to that small enclave of travelling fans. Made the journey. It's not a huge journey, actually, from Piacenza up to Ljubljana. They will be delighted that they've followed the team here. It's a tiny group of fans, isn't it? To what has been a fabulously entertaining matchup between these two teams. Piacenza, the squad that get it done in the end. But